Hey guys, I want to talk in this video with you about the rankings. I want to make a DPS tier list for ULDUAR. I already made a prediction like 3-4 weeks ago, and yeah, definitely some things changed. So because you know now we have a lot of more data because of the PDR test. I saw it by myself. You can look at Warcraftlogs, so we have much more data, and definitely some things changed. I would say so. There's a lot of good things going on for many classes, and I think I know now, or I understand now, why this was the shining time of World of Warcraft. A lot of classes are very good. We have a big S tier, we have a big A tier. Nearly every class has one spec into those tiers, so everything is viable. The raid feels great, looks great. I think we have awesome times ahead in P2 of Wrath of the Lich King. Let us start to talk about tier list. Just 1 second. I open here the blank one. Sorry. Alright, here it is. Okay. First of all, what did definitely not change is the D tier. There are two classes, two specs in that case, that make no sense that you play them in P2 Ulduar. And it's again Subrogue and Frost Mage. So don't go for it. That makes no sense. Let us put some audio. That makes no sense in that case that you go for those. They are just bad. They bring nothing that you need. So don't give them a chance. Just try to go for the better classes. Let us come to the C tier. C tier, nothing changed in my. Okay, maybe that changed something in my predictions from the last one that I did, and I still would put their Arms Warrior. Makes no sense. You could maybe even put them in D tier, but okay. Beastmaster Hunter and Retribution Paladin. And I have to be honest, at the moment it seems like Fury Warriors stay also in the C tier. I had them in the B tier, so okay, why not putting them into the B tier in the last spec? But to be honest, the other one in the B tier, they just do more damage, and that's what we're talking about. It's a DPS tier list. If you have an awesome Fury player, why not? Why not bringing him? The item level definitely helps him, but let me put it here in front of the. Let us make here a little bit of a arrangement. I would rank it like this. This is so the best C tier is definitely Fury Warrior, and he has a good chance to jump into the B tier. We have a very small B tier as well. Why? Because we have a very big S tier and a very big A tier, what is just awesome. So let us come to the B tier. B tier, we start here. Usually I would say we started with Fury Warrior, but now let us start with Elemental Shaman. Good class. Even the short fights later on will help them. But I see them as a B tier spec. And to be honest, just why? Why? Because the other ones are just better. They are just perform better. That's why it's at B tier. It's not a bad class, and don't get me wrong, S, A, and B are already the tiers that I would say like, hey, it's completely fine that you're gonna raid with them. It's nothing bad at all, but other classes have better things. But sometimes you need those classes because of special reasons. For example, a Shadow Priest makes a lot of sense. Still B tier, but they do quite well. No need to don't go for them. Otherwise, I would talk about the Destruction Warlock. Why? Because we have two Warlock specs that are just better. So there's no reason, in my opinion, to play Destruction Warlock. And last but not least, in B... Oh no, that's already the B tier. Sorry, I wanted to put Fury Warrior. It would be also there, maybe the last one, but I say I'm struggling here a little bit about C and B tier. I think they will stay C tier, sadly, but okay. Now let's come to the very positive parts. We have a crazy big A tier. And the A tier is starting with Arcane Mage. Arcane Mage will be, I think I would put them on the lowest A tier. They are still good. Later on, they they're benefiting of short fights. If we have more gear at the start, they're doing not that well, but also not that bad. I mean, A tier, it's quite good. Another caster that we have here are the Moonkins, the Boomkins. I had them usually in B tier. I think we can let them in A tier. They did quite well in the past few days, as far as I could see it in the data, in my raid and stuff like this. So quite good. Another one is Enhancement Shaman. I also had them into the B tier. What I saw so far, also pretty good. I think they will stay strong A tier or mid A tier. The difference between the A tier specs is so less. Maybe you could say like the last one, in that case Arcane Mage. Yeah, it has a difference between the last one and the first one, 100%, but you know, it's always a little bit hard to predict. Next one that I want to put is Feral Druid. To be honest, I had them into the S tier. That was definitely not correct. At the moment they are in B tier. I think they can make a jump, especially in AoE fights. So I will put them in A tier because they still lack in some fights of the single target and some things as well. But they just seem quite strong. It's a good class. So definitely as a Feral Druid you can look happy into the next tier. Then I put Fire Mage. I'm not so sure about Fire Mage. I'm sure they will be A tier. I'm sure they're doing good, but I put them in the middle of the A tier. So, because I'm not sure if they will be much better than Arcane Mage, if they will be kind of the same, if they will be, you know, that's why I wanted to put them there. Good spec, go for it. Next one are the two Hunter specs. Both specs that I could see so far doing fine. They are already good in Naxxramas, so there's nothing really changing. I think you can already say they are A tier right now. They are doing good. There's no big need to bring a hunter at the moment into the raid, besides maybe for the pulls in the raid, if I'm not sure. So one hunter should be enough. We will see how it's later on, but if you have good hunter players, you can get more. First spec that we talk now about is already a spec that I think it could be also S tier. Don't get me wrong. That's why I bring it definitely on the first spot into the A tier. It's FrostDK. They do very good. It seems like they're getting a little bit of a jump, and not crazy jump. I mean, at the moment they are already doing well, but I see more difference right now between FrostDK and the S tier classes than I see it late in the next phase. So having one or two FrostDKs will be definitely a very good thing for your guild. If you have more, makes maybe not that sense because Unholy is still better, but FrostDKs then can do a lot of damage and they are very good DPS for your raid. That's why I ranked them in the first A tier spot. And I can tell you, definitely very good times are ahead for those people. So next one, we come to the first S tier spec. First S tier spec is Combat Rogue. Why Combat Rogue first S tier spec? They need scaling. What does it mean? Scaling means definitely not the first day of ULDUAR, and definitely not the second day, and also not the third day. Why? Because you don't have the gear. If Combat Rogue is in full biz ULDUAR, then maybe they will have a better spot here, maybe even the second spot after Unholy DK. I'm not sure, but at the moment I think I would put them on the lowest spot in S tier. They do good, they do better than in Nax. Longer fights are benefiting them and stuff like this, and the scaling is benefiting them, but at the end of the day, there's still some single target fights, and Asa Rogue is doing better than I thought. That's why I put Asa Rogue here into the S tier. Good times ahead for Rogue players. Both specs are very strong. Maybe you can play a mix of Asa and Combat for some fights, but also it may be hard because you have maybe as an Asa player the super AoE spec, and this pure single target spec, so would be not that easy to swap around to a combat spec in that case. So yeah, that's what we have here. Let me go ahead. Now we go for the two. Now we come to the two Warlock specs. It's hard for me to say which one is better. I think we rank it like this. They are both very good. And I would not say there's a big difference to the rogue specs. There is a difference to the rogue specs, maybe especially in AoE fights or in multi-target fights. Especially maybe now when the phase is starting. Combat rogue has definitely a bigger scaling potential than the Monolith G Warlock, but still both are very good, and I put them both into the S tier Warlock specs. Every data looked good. The raids that I was in look pretty strong. So I think these four here are kind of on the same level, but I wanted to say that this has the biggest scaling potential, and that's why it's right now on the last place of S tier, and this one is in the first place because they already have a very good momentum right now, and they just will become also stronger, definitely. Maybe not that much stronger than a combat rogue, but anyways they will get stronger. We come to the king of DPS right now in Naxxramas, and as far as I can say, at the moment it looks also in ULDUAR it will stay the same. We will see what is later on going on in the next two raids, or especially in ICC, but it seems like Unholy stays the king of DPS, especially when they have a very good snapshot and all these things. They are just awesome. So definitely, if you wanna speedrun, then these are the 4-5 specs that you wanna stack. There's already 5 specs, so if you maybe get 3 or 4 Unholies, 3-4 Warlocks, 3-4 Rogues, and then you already have nearly everything what you need. And you have maybe 1 or 2 Frosty Case, you have 1 or 2 Enhancement Shamans, a Mage, a Boomkin, and your raid is already kind of pretty good. That's it, guys. I just want to make clear, super big S tier, super big A tier, and that's really how it feels. Believe me, you can go by yourself to the PTR. That's my prediction for at the moment, after I really saw ULDUAR and I saw data about ULDUAR. We have nice times ahead of us. A lot of classes are playable. Sadly, Warrior and Paladin, they're doing not good. Seems like they will be not really changing something. Thanks God, both of those classes have also a tank spec, and Paladin even a heal spec, and especially Paladin, great tank, great healer. Warrior tank, I'm not an expert on tank stuff, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure you can bring them. So they have maybe specs that you can play with, and Sub-Rogue, Frost Mage, we don't need to care because both of these classes have very, very good specs in the S and A tier, so nobody needs to be sad about it. That's it, guys. Enjoy it, have fun, and let me know what you think is the best spec or your favorite spec for playing in ULDUAR. Bye bye, guys. See you.